Welcome back, everyone, to another Tech Tuesday segment on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll be right back with today's tech guest. But first, let's give a shout out to our partners, the Global Community of Women in High School Sports, the Florida Coaches Coalition, Vital Signs Wall of Fame, and We Coach. These are 4 great organizations. You really need to add them to your network. And now, don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes. Take a listen to our sponsors' messages. These are all companies I used as a head coach or as an athletic director. You should be using them too. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're going to show you how to set up and sell your tickets online, how to scan your attendees and collect your revenue. And every step of the way, you'll have a dedicated client success manager providing hands-on support. That's every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com right now and get started. Simple and easy online ticketing. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating custom sports graphics in seconds that will help you celebrate your athletes and promote your teams. Join the 3,000 athletic programs across the country, both high school and college, that are making professional grade graphics simply with Hometown Ticketing. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. That's Gipper.com. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to Huddle.com, change the way you see the game. As an AD, I made sure our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided that help them coach our kids at the highest levels. Go to Huddle.com and see why we believe in sports and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank our friends at Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better. Of course, there's Snap Raise, their fundraising platform, but there's so much more. Go to snapraise.com. Check them out today. We also want to say thank you to Home Campus. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association management platform for the podcast. It's also your one-stop for scheduling, student-athlete eligibility and clearance, and so much more. As an athletic director, I used Home Campus every single day, and it was just fantastic. Go to homecampus.com to get started. That's homecampus.com. You won't be disappointed. We also want to say thank you to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You know, their mission is to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's a great way to showcase your school's history, display your school record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, and also tell more compelling stories about your school's proudest moments. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check them out today, vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to thank District 1. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. You're going to feel like you've won because District 1 can offer you custom uniforms in 20 business days or less. They also offer one-at-a-time replacements. You'll never have to order an entire set of uniforms again when you only need to replace 1 or 2. Go to district1.com, click on the Team Gear button, get a free quote. District1.com. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, check out their products, schedule a live web demo, and see them in action, and you'll feel like I do. It was the best purchase I ever made as an athletic director, getting one of their indoor score boards. That's sidelineinteractive.com. Check out their products today. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Athletic Surveys connects you with your parents and your student athletes. They allow you to take the pulse. Athletic directors typically only hear back from the complainers, the gripers, and that accounts for about 2%. But athletic surveys will connect you with the 98% that love and support your program, along with that 2%. And that's tremendously valuable information to have when you're meeting with a frustrated parent, your principal, or your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Let them show you all the things that they can do for you. That's athleticsurveys.com. Welcome back, everyone, to another Tech Tuesday segment on the Educational AD Podcast. We're visiting with someone that's truly an old friend. Our guest today is Donnie Schemetti. Donnie is with Hometown Ticketing, and we've known each other for a number of years. He was actually one of the first companies to reach out and want to be a sponsor of the podcast when we were still doing things on behalf of the FIAAA here in Florida. So I've known Donnie for a long time, really respect him as a professional in our business. So Donnie, welcome to the Educational AD Podcast.
Thank you, Jake. It's a pleasure, and something I've been hoping to do for many years now. Been a big follower, big fan of your podcast, and really excited to be here today.
Well, appreciate the support. As regular listeners know, Hometown Ticketing is a proud sponsor of the podcast. They've been with us almost since the beginning, and Donnie has joined the team at Hometown. Donnie, I know there's a lot of exciting things coming out with the Hometown platform. What are some of the things that you can share with our listeners today?
Sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of things I can share. There's a lot of things I'm going to keep kind of behind scenes for now. But, I think, when you talk about digital ticketing, obviously just about everybody's doing it these days. There's been a big surge over the past several years. And I think a lot of athletic directors out there have seen the value that, pretty much digital ticketing can provide from anywhere. With Hometown being the leader in the market, we're always looking for ways to innovate, create new features, create new functionality that people will find valuable. And our most recent innovation is a social media tool, a social media automation that will help schools and districts drive ticket sales, but also save a lot of time. A lot of effort goes into creating social media posts, but our automation will actually take data that is pre-populated in the Hometown Ticketing platform and push it out to social media channels with a professional looking graphic. And that's something that we're offering to all of our schools and districts at no cost. So it's really exciting to get that out there.
You and I have talked about this many times before, that, social media is really where the kids are at these days. And I think the parents are getting more involved with that. What are some things that you see that Hometown Ticketing does particularly well from the social media connections that you just talked about?
Sure. Yeah. So I've always been a big, I have a marketing background, and, social media has been a big thing now for forever, it seems like. But we especially see that with schools and athletic directors. I think a lot of communication happens when events are scheduled, when events are coming up. If something happens and they get canceled or postponed, that's definitely a way for athletic directors to get in touch with the community and keep them aware of anything that's going on. So anything that Hometown can do to help make that communication easier, better, obviously we're all for that. So this new automation, it's nice because athletic directors don't have to put information into a platform twice, right? If their event is on the Hometown platform, the stuff that's getting pushed out there for their community to buy tickets and so forth, it's all automatically going to be there. So that's really, really helpful. We know athletic directors have a lot of jobs, a lot of duties. Most importantly, they want to be there to coach up the youth in the community, help them develop into better student athletes, better people. And, the less time they have to spend developing social media graphics, I think, the more time they have to do the important stuff.
Yeah, I've shared this a couple of different times. Hometown is really the only sponsor that we have that I did not personally use as a coach or an athletic director, because I was retiring, right after COVID, as online ticketing was really starting to take off. But I've talked to hundreds of ADs across the country that swear by Hometown. What are some of the things that, from your perspective, working with ADs directly, that you've heard, why is Hometown the choice for online ticketing?
Yeah, great question. And I think the consistent theme that's out there with hometown customers, it's all about customer service and support. We have incredible technology, we've got great people, but the amount of personal touch that we provide, being able to onboard schools and districts quickly, be there to help them answer questions, provide best practices, and just the sheer number of professionals that we have on our team who are on standby if there's ever anything we can do to help. I think that's rare, not only for digital ticketing, but, really any vendor in our space. There's a lot of really great companies out there. I think, people are in general, creating great technologies and whatnot. But for hometown, having this many people on our staff that we can assist schools at any time, I think that's really nice for athletic directors to have.
Yeah. Again, there's always a lot of choices, but it comes down to, that customer service and sometimes, what have you done for me lately? Um, you alluded to some things that you're keeping close to the vest, as far as hometown. Is there anything, can you give us a hint, anything to look forward to in the coming months? And for our listeners, we're recording this today on June 16th, so it's pretty timely when you're going to be listening to this.
Sure. Yeah. I don't want to get too specific. I think, a lot of people have seen some of the ads and marketing stuff we've been doing saying get ready. But at a high level, I can tell you, we are innovating each and every day. I just, was running late this afternoon, getting out of a meeting, talking about the next generation of our technology and all the exciting things we have coming. So I promise in due time, everybody's going to be made aware of those things, but, definitely keep an eye out for the future at hometown. I think, as the industry leader in digital ticketing, we are, not resting on our laurels. We are definitely, constantly improving and looking to add value. So we'll see what comes next there.
All right, we won't work you too hard for that behind the scenes information yet, but we'll look forward to that. Donnie, as always, it's great spending time with you. If one of our listeners wanted to reach out, find out more about hometown ticketing, what's the best way they can get a hold of you and the platform?
Sure. So honestly, hometownticketing.com obviously is our website. We've got a ton of very knowledgeable ticketing experts that would love to hear from you. My personal email is just donnie@hometownticketing.com. That's DONNIE. And, I'd certainly love to hear from anyone at any time, provide more information if I can.
Okay. Well, Donnie Schemetti, Hometown Ticketing. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast today and all the best moving forward.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it.
For our listeners, we do this just about every week, and we upload the Zoom videos to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening. Come back next Tuesday for another great tech tip, and just about every day for new content on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. And before we go, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, Hometown Ticketing, the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Go to hometownticketing.com. We want to thank Athletic Surveys. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They'll create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes. Athleticsurveys.com. Go to huddle.com. And if you're an athletic director, Huddle is great for coaches, but it's great from a school standpoint. We were a Huddle school, and all of our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided. Go to huddle.com to get started. Wall of Fame by Vital Signs. It's a great way to display your school records, your record boards for all your teams, and your school's Hall of Fame. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. We also want to thank Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating custom content for your school's social media channel. You can do it in seconds. Gipper.com. Sideline Interactive, indoor scoring tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo. We want to thank Snap Mobile. Go to Snap Raise to check out their entire suite of platforms. That's snapraise.com. You'll be very glad you did. Want to say thanks to District 1, that's WON, and you're going to feel like you've won with District 1's custom uniforms. Go to district1.com. And Home Campus, the exclusive platform for the Educational AD podcast. Go to homecampus.com. Find out all the things that they can do for you in your athletic program. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD podcast.